Hey, this is Al McGee with YETicket.com. I'm here with two of the stars from the movie Dark State. Man, and people, you got to see this movie because it's really something you got to see. And then you're going to say to yourself, what did I just watch? I got to watch it again. But anyway, I got Nicholas Baroudi. He plays Rusty. He's a newspaper guy in the film. How you doing, Nicholas?
I'm doing great. Thanks so much for hanging out with us.
Oh, no problem. And Constantine Maroulis, and he plays Androno. But man, this guy is wicked. How you doing, Constantine?
I'm good. I'm good. I was just thinking of Nicholas, like if he was actually like a newspaper delivery guy, like, you know, with like his little hat on, like throwing the newspapers. It's a very different movie than that, though.
Oh, it sure is. It sure is. And
that would be cool.
I used to deliver papers when I was a kid.
Where?
Oh, yeah.
I'm from Chicago.
As well. My sister as well. Oh, nice.
Yeah. And Constantine, I see you grew up in New Jersey.
I did. I was born in the city in Brooklyn, New York, and we moved out here when I started grade school. So very different life. The suburbs. I moved back a few years ago after 20 plus years in New York City to raise my daughter here myself. So I guess everything kind of comes back full circle for sure. But I love it. About 20 minutes away from the city, but it's a whole nother world and a great community for sure.
In fact, this is what this movie's about. It's about Hamilton, New Jersey.
Yes.
Now, did y'all shoot the film there in Hamilton, New Jersey, or any place in New Jersey at the time you shot this film?
We did. We shot it. You know, Tracy Luca, our writer director, is actually from Hamilton. Now, if you're from New Jersey, you know that North Jersey and South Jersey are very different. There is, you know, a whole legend of New Jersey out there. Some weird stuff happens down there by the Pine Barrens. Lots of movies and things have been written about it. So definitely a great backdrop for a creepy story like this, for sure. So yeah, we shot it right on location in a family home of hers, that beautiful vintage, I imagine, I think it was a Victorian home, just gorgeous. And it was cold and creepy and rainy out when we were shooting. It just helped us along real good.
And Nicholas, tell us about Rusty. Who was he? We already told the audience that you worked in newspaper, but tell us exactly your character. What did he do?
Well, after the evolution of being the delivery boy, he grows up. He's the editor of the local paper that Alicia comes back to work at after her star begins to ascend, and she kind of blows it a little bit and has to go back to her small hometown. And Rusty is the newspaper editor, who is the kind of the noble, ethical center in a way of the film.
Right.
That kind of gives the audience the perspective of the audience perspective as the film goes on, kind of letting the audience know he's learning as the audience learns, and he's trying to guide Alicia and feel out the boundaries and what's appropriate and what's not, and how far it's okay to go to get what you want, really. I mean, I was say to get the story, but it's where are the boundary lines, you know, to achieve what your goals and your dreams. And he's kind of the host of that journey.
Oh yeah, that's what I saw in him in this. But Adrono, this guy was something else. Tell us about him, Constantine.
Well, you know, I seem to get these calls to play these creepy guys. So, but I'm game. You know, whatever the work is, I'm there to deliver. I think, you know, definitely a sort of just your atypical cult Satanist, you know, underground beekeeper of a guy. You know, just a lot of fun to play those kinds of scenes for sure. And it was such a safe set. You know, Tracy shot this in, I think, 13 days.
Oh, really?
So yeah, and there was some edgy couple of scenes there with some younger actors that I was working with. So, even just trying to make that all safe for everyone, it's a lot of work. And but it's fun to play that sort of that dynamic for sure. And I think, maybe some of my experience, standing in front of a rock and roll band all these years kind of helped play with that kind of energy in the movie as well.
Yeah,
I
and
think it's
also
Adorno. I think it's Adorno.
Adorno.
Adorno. I don't know. People, they still can't say my name, so who knows? It might be Adorno. I'm not sure. I think it's open for interpretation, to be honest.
Yeah, and also this film is also about Alicia. She's a newspaper woman from Philly, but she meets all you guys in the film, and she also used to have a friendly relationship with Rusty. And Rusty, well, you have a friendly relationship with her also, but can you define your relationship with Alicia?
I can try to. It's kind of the nice thing, the appeal with the character and those relationships are that they kind of mirror real life and real relationships. So those lines are all blurred, it can sometimes be a little frustrating as a viewer to watch something or read something where it's very clear cut, and oh, that guy does the right thing, and oh no, we're not going to do that. But this is a guy who, kind of serving as the moral compass of the story, is then thrust into having it all muddied by his feelings for this girl, and he has a personal relationship with her, and things might be changing. And now all of a sudden, what was so simple to him, his ideals are a little bit more clouded because he's working with this girl who he respects her talent, but she's kind of made some mistakes, and now he's moving the goalposts a little bit and the lines on what he's comfortable doing. And so I think their relationship is complicated, and you see that change as the story changes.
Oh yeah, because there was a scene in there that I said, "Ooh, I wouldn't turn that down." But anyway, she's she's a divorcee and things like that. And and you were really having a problem with it. But then Adorno, when you get in front of her face and you tell her who you are, what you can do, and what could happen to her, tell us about how you felt with that scene as an actor playing that to her, to Alicia.
I think it's indicative of a lot of what's happening in our community today and in our business. I feel like this movie touches upon a lot of those topics. There's a great deal of female empowerment that's involved in the story, but also the sort of dangers of Hollywood and the sort of surrounding kind of underground powers that exist out there, looking to take people down. And, there's sort of these, I don't know, a deep state of for whatever that means to anyone. So, I mean, it's, it feels creepy, but it's something that can really happen to a young gal out there. So, I think it's important that we sort of highlight like how dangerous, even, Hollywood and whatnot, and the situation she put herself in as well can be for a young gal. And so definitely creepy, but it feels like something that could happen today. We see it all over the news and with politics, and certainly all over Hollywood with some of these real bad people that have come out over the last few years. A lot of them sitting in prison cells right now. So I think it's important that we touch upon this and that we tell these stories as well.
Yeah, there was a lot of that. For example, there was references to Jeffrey Epstein, Harvey Weinstein, and Charles Manson and George Bush in this film. I said, "Wow, where is this going?" And then she also, the writer director Tracy, she also talked about how if you change and you accept some of this, you can become a success, or you can drown in it. And did you see some of that, Nicholas, in the script?
I did, just having, the being able to cheat and get the whole thing in one shot. But I saw it, but there was still able to surprise me as I went, and see certain characters do certain things, and kind of think to yourself, "Oh my God, what? Really? I didn't see that part coming." And that was kind of like I was saying, the appeal of maybe injecting in a little more reality of the way people actually behave. Everybody likes to say, that, oh no, these are the things I'll do or not do. But when you're faced with certain decisions and you're in that
Yeah,
and
yeah.
something's within your grasp, then some things start to be revealed about you. So yeah, we definitely saw that.
Yeah, and this also reminded me of a recording by Robert Johnson, a great blues man too. I believe it's at the Crossroads, about the guy selling his soul to the devil and things
Right.
like that. But Tracy also related something like that to being successful. Did you see that in this script also, Constantine?
Yeah, I mean, I guess there's always a price to pay for fame and fortune and success. It's I wish it were only about hard work sometimes, but there's you know I don't know, there's so many people out there looking to get ahead, and they'll do anything to get there. And it's not such a nice place in the world sometimes. So I feel like
Yeah, who you telling?
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yes, sir. I mean, I was up all night watching the news, with what's happening, Minneapolis, and
Yeah,
it's just unreal. It's just a surreal cycle of bad stuff constantly. And so like I said, this is a real story. This is what's happening out there. We touch upon all of those topics. Just really cool to be a part of an independent project like this, a passion project by
hmm,
Tracy. And we had such a wonderful crew, this wonderfully diverse crew out of Philadelphia, and just so much love on the set. Everyone supporting each other. And these independent films were there, for the right reasons. It's not to make money or to get ahead necessarily. It's to tell stories, to work on in a cool, artistic, collaborative environment. And it's nice that Nicholas and we were pretty busy in 2019 and before the shutdown in 20, that we got to put a few things in the can that we get to talk about now. So the fact that this movie has had a theatrical release for the last few weeks, done well, sold out some shows, and it's coming to video
oh,
on demand. I
congratulations.
mean,
That's great.
it's unreal, So it's very cool that this sometimes you kind of forget, oh gosh, that's right, that's coming up and around that movie. So it's cool that we get to talk about it, and it will elicit conversation, I hope. And I hope that it heightens and the bad things that are happening in the movie in an effort to maybe
Yeah, yeah.
neutralize them in real life. Yeah.
Hmm. And Nicholas, now as your character Rusty, Rusty was trying to seek the truth, and there's a couple of lines from the movie where it says someone said, "Well, the media creates what people believe, and you're a newspaper guy trying to seek the truth." As a actor, do you also try to find that in your scripts or in your movies that you want to participate in, that you want to act in, and things like that? You want to try to find the truth, even though it might be fiction, but you still want to try to find some type of truth in the project that you will be working on.
Yeah, if you can, that is certainly one of the ultimate goals. If you can tell those, I think, like Stella Adler said, that the theater telling stories through morality and truth. And so many of the great works are rooted in that. And that's so rich and fulfilling to play. If you can do that, absolutely. Like we were just touching on, like Constantine was saying, sometimes
Uh-huh.
you don't quite get to pick everything you want to do, or the avenues that you want to go while you're working. But when you get to do both, when you get to work and do the thing that you want to do, and tell a story from that perspective, that's definitely the dream. You know, if you can mine into that and investigate that and tell that story, for sure.
And also, Nicholas, I was trying to find a little bit about you, looking at your bio. Why did you want to be an actor? Why are you in this business? What motivates you to stay in this business?
Man, wow.
Loaded. That is loaded.
Well, same to you, Constantine.
You see that? You see that kitchen behind him? He's got to pay for it somehow. That sweet subway tile is.
But you're gonna always work at the post office.
Well,
hey, those are good benefits. Good benefits.
Well, my joke always was when I was in college, you know, I was going through for English and political science, and I ultimately wanted to go to law school because there was at one time I wanted to be a politician, and I now always say that I decided to reroute and become an actor because I wanted to do something that was honest. So when I decided to go away from that route, you know, when I got into this quickly, it was just out of passion. It was out of fun. I was working in regional theater and below. It was just something that to try to reroute some energy and not being able to play sports anymore and things like that. And as one thing led to another, and I became completely consumed with it and addicted to it, I tried to make the jump into making it my profession. And then staying in it, you know, you better be in it for the right reasons. You better be in it because you love it, because, you know, the amount of just grinding is
I know,
full-time job in itself. So, you know, it better all come out of that root of loving to do it, to be in the performance arts, and that all has to start with there, or you're in for a long life and a long road otherwise.
Well, you know, you still can become a politician.
I think I'm gonna leave that to The Rock, maybe. You know.
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh,
Constantine,
gosh,
you too. Why are you in this business, and what motivates you? And you know, sometimes I ask some people, they say, "Well, when I was younger, I wanted to get the girls, but then it changed."
Well, definitely a lot of that as well. But for me, you know, I don't know. I think you could see my West Side Story poster there, the original film. I just have these fond memories of watching movie musicals with my family as a kid, and just being just captivated by the magic on the screen. You know, the musicality, the you know, the choreography and whatnot. So I think it sort of started with that kind of vibe, and I always had a big singing voice when I was a kid.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I think, yes, sir, yeah. And I think in order to sing more, I started getting involved in like musicals, and then I started singing in bands, and then, you know, yeah, the girls liked it, the boys liked it, everybody liked it. And then you start sort of really digging in on the craft of it and enjoying that heady just game that we play, and that collaborative effort, and working on something from the ground up is awesome. We're working on a classic script. It's, you know, I played sports growing up too, and I always loved, you know, the team concept. And it's, you know, being in a show on Broadway or being on a cool set is a lot like that. You know, everyone has their part to play, and if they don't do their job, like Bill Belichick is famous for saying, if you have to do your job, you know, it can A, be unsafe, and B, it just won't happen, you know. So it's great to star in things and all of that, but there's, you know, everyone is such a vital piece of the puzzle, and I just love all that. I love shooting something out of order and whatnot, putting it all back together again.
Right.
And I love the tour life. I just live for it, man, for sure.
Oh, whoa, that's great. Well, fellas, that's all the time I have today to talk about Dark State, but not only Constantine and Nicholas, to talk to you and also get to learn more about you. Just one more, if you want to make a comment about Dark State, what should the audience take away from the film once they see it? Either one of you guys, Nicholas, Constantine, you want to answer that, or you got a comment
I think,
about that?
yeah, I think, supporting independent projects like this is so crucial, and it's
Yeah,
so fun. It's great to turn on a Tom Hanks movie and whoever, Denzel, and, they're incredible. But to support a small independent film and a director, writer, a female, who's out there kicking butt, to support a project like that is pretty cool. And I think there's a lot to take away from this film. I think, a lot of us have gotten to be a part of great projects, but you might not have seen us in everything. So it's cool to see a project with all new faces for the most part. So it's coming to video on demand May 9th. I think it's going to be a great, creepy Friday night kind of movie to watch with your friends and whatnot. Get some popcorn, and while we're still pretty much shut down, I think it's great that there's so much content out there. But check out and support independent projects when you can.
yeah. Anything to say, Nicholas?
Sure. I mean, that was well said. But yeah, I'll just piggyback on that and say, as I've kind of discovered talking about the film, that there's a different lane and there's a different avenue that this gets to fit in. And in the mainstream, we get a lot of the same kind of thing. And there's absolutely clearly a demand for that, and Marvel and superheroes and the certain kind of romantic comedy or action movie. But when you can get into independent film where they don't necessarily have to play by that studio rule, they get to just tell the story they want to tell, and Tracy was able to tell the story she wants to tell, and it's different than a lot of the things you're going to see. And so if you want to experience something that is a little more difficult to find, that is a little more engaging in that way, then going down this route with Dark State and the independent world is a good road to travel.
And I just got a note that it's actually May the 4th. It drops on demand. So May the 4th be with you, which for you Star Wars fanatics like me out there is a big day. May the 4th be with you. May the Schwartz be with you. May the 4th be with you. May the 4th, video on demand. Check it out.
Oh, we will. And I'll let my audience know it too. Well, thank you, fellas, very much. And thank you for the success of Dark State. And thank you for taking time with me, Al McGee, here at yeticket.com. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, mate.
Thank you so much. Thanks for chatting with us and talking to us, taking the time.
And much
happy
success
spring
to you. Thank you.
And to you.
Great to meet you.
Sir.
Thank you.
Thanks, Al.
This is your entertainment ticket. Latest and greatest.